People will swear a woman's past doesn't matter, but it's funny how it keeps mattering anyway.
How did you and Jordan go about navigating intimacy preferences given my history?
In case you're unaware, by history, she means getting railed by men on camera and having it posted on the internet.
Well, it was definitely, I would say it was definitely hard. You know,
Yeah,
it was definitely hard.
Maybe difficult would have been a better word choice.
There were moments where like images I've seen would like come back, and like when times we were like intimate, like it would like flood my brain, and I like literally couldn't focus. Like I could not shut my mind off. I could not shut off like the things that I've seen.
She spends years making bad decisions, and now he is really the one who has to pay for it because evidently it's his turn to make some bad choices.
But like once like God got me through that, it was a lot easier. Not that I don't like sometimes randomly, to be honest, like think about that stuff anymore. And it's not necessarily just a comparison, but it's like if you think about your significant other and you see that, you know what I mean? It's just like, dang, it's a punch in the gut.
Yeah, enjoy the traumatizing flashbacks of your wife being tag teamed for the rest of your life. These femme-centric evangelical men are useful idiots for these types of women.
Nala and I were both in the adult industry. She was on OnlyFans. I was in the industry before OnlyFans even existed. I am old school.
She's the blueprint on how to sell the from corn to Christ story, monetize the testimony, and build a career in evangelical preaching.
And we both married wonderful men of God who people have mocked, people have questioned our redemption, people have sent them photos and images and videos of us.
These goofs decided that holiness means being willing to marry women that have sold their bodies on the internet for any man to see. There's supposed to be consequences for that type of behavior. Bad ones, not being rewarded with a ring.
We get a lot of people that say, hey, I stopped watching, but for some reason I can't get the images out of my mind. And you have both seen your wives in that, unfortunately in that line of darkness.
What spell do these women have over them that they're signing up for this willingly? They must have been convinced by their feminized church that it is the righteous thing to do. At this rate, Protestant churches are becoming a hotbed for overexposed women to pair up with underexposed men. Just a couple days ago, OF model Mackenzie Valdez announced she has retired from OF and given her life to Christ.
This is my explanation as to why I quit OnlyFans. I don't want to quit social media because I feel like I could use my platform for really good and continue to use it.
Looks like Miss Born Again is planning to run the adult content creator to online preacher pipeline. That's why she wants to keep her social media accounts.
I've been off of OnlyFans for about a month now, and I'm sure people are probably, well, you guys are curious as to know why. Accepting Jesus into my heart and into my life. When I was saved in that moment, like I said, I had a supernatural peace come over me. I had visions from him of how he saw me, how God sees me.
Yeah, whatever. Just don't start circling churches hunting for a young man with less experience than you that you can con into wiping your stained slate clean with their forgiveness and a wedding ring. Just say no to ran through women.
First with Rom. Hinge date with Jonathan. First date with Jesse. First date with Ranjit. First date with Anand. Second date with Anand. First date with Ryan. First date with Austin.
To a date with Matthew. First date.
8 different men already. Make her pick up the checks and this dating tour is over.
First date with George. First date with Gareth. Date 2 with a sunburn with George. First date with Mike. First date with Henry.
12 different men, and effortlessly for a very average woman.
First date with Eric.
First date with Jason.
First date with Sam. First date with Kyle. Second date with Sam.
She's got a literal buffet of men for being a mid.
Okay, little hiatus, but I'm back. First date with Aaron. First date with Brian. First date with Billy. First date with Michael. First date with, I think it's a date, Brenton. First date with Alex.
That's 22 different men. Instead of dating one guy at a time, testing for a connection, she's running through men, looking for the best deal she can get her hands on. Just give them less effort and show less interest, and modern women will reward you because they'll just assume you're higher value than the rest of her 50 matches. Dating apps, social media, and OnlyFans have completely fried modern women.